Now then, back to reality. Saturday the 7th of January. Back home from Lanzarote. Obviously, been back a week and a bit now. Back to the cold, damp and windy northeast of England, which we'll have to tolerate for a good few more months until the spring comes back and we get back into our hobby again. So just really wanted to do a quick little update saying all's well since we've come back after the Christmas break. January, just got to get through it, find something to keep our minds entertained until we can get back into doing what we do best, which is being out around our ponds and gardens, coming up with new ideas and projects to keep us entertained for 2023, which I'm really looking forward to cracking on with. Got plenty of ideas myself what I want to do in my own setup, which we'll go through and updates this coming year. So looking forward to that. Got myself tidied up a bit, as you can see, shaven, haircut, bit of colour back in the face after looking back at my last uploads before Christmas, looking like someone had just crawled out of a bush. It's absolutely just worn down and knackered. But that's what happens at the end of a year when you sort of struggle working on construction sites and you really just can't be bothered. You get worn out, you need to get away, recharge yourself, which is what I did with the wife over Christmas. We had a lovely week doing that. Just rest, recuperate, and get ready for the year to come. And now we are back home. It's big jumpers back on, big coats on, not giving our money to them energy companies for no bloody reason. Need to save that pennies for projects and interests we've got of our own during the year. So learning to just get through the winters differently these days. I remember the days where we just put your shorts and t-shirt on in the winter and crank the heating right up. But we're not living like that anymore. We're trying to be more sensible these days. So that's where we're at. I'll spin you round now and we'll go and take a look just outside, show everything's alright out there, and then we'll get back on about something else. Just bloody miserable, isn't it? Rain, wind, cold and damp. These guys don't seem to mind too much. Not eating very much, like this got a little shot glass basically of pellets twice a day. Keeps them interested enough, ticking over. Ponds holding at about 8 or 9. Just see on there, we're just cold and wet here. Not a lot going on. Hard to get motivated in this weather. Well, as you've seen, fish are still eating alright. The setup's still running how I left it before I went away, so that's great for me. Nothing to worry about there. Just cold, wet and damp, as we've seen. I was really happy with these little insulated cupboards I made. So one for the outdoor tap, as I've looked at before, that stopped all of that freezing up. Got out about -8. I think we've seen the worst up here. Didn't any problems. Obviously the water feed from that feeds the Draco drum, which is all pipework insulated and buried, which goes round to the drum. So that didn't freeze up at all, didn't stop working. The dechlorinator, just there's a lot of the stuff hiding there for the winter, but in this little cupboard here, none of that froze up. So happy with that. I've seen a lot of other people, not a lot, but some of you, doing updates of the progress of the year, which is good to look back on. So I didn't want to jump on the same bandwagon, but I wanted to show, maybe especially for people starting out and thinking about getting into the hobby, give them a bit of motivation, because it's this time of year it's hard to get motivated about it. But I thought I'd do a little recap, so a look back of my favourite parts from building the pond to sort of sitting out in the summer enjoying the best of it, and then to my current day where I am now since I've sort of come on YouTube. So I think I'll just set a slideshow of that away, and hopefully that will motivate people to see why we do this hobby and the best of it. Summer months, I thought it would be a bit interesting, so that's what I'll set away now. hope you just enjoyed a look back there of some of the highlights in the hobby for me. It'd be building your own pond, coming up with your own design and seeing that design through, and then seeing how it all works out for you in the summer months and the winter months. Basically getting the rewards of the hobby when you sat up there on the back decking with a nice cold beer, just watching it all, and it's all going well. Them months where we do have problem-free months in the hobby, where we sort of realise this is why we do it, and we get ourselves educated and prepared for any problems that we do come across, so we know how to handle them at the time. But yeah, the nice summer months, I sat out the back, summer nights, just been generally happy out there around the garden. That's really what it's about for me. A nice break from reality when I come home from work, and that's my little area where I chill out. And I'm sure that's the same for most people that are in this hobby. So I hope that's a bit of inspiration for people looking to sort of build and design a setup themselves. Give them a little quiet place of their own to come back to and just chill out after a hard day. So that's what I hope you've taken from it. So until next time, when we have something to go out there and show you in better weather, I think I'll just leave that one there. Hope you're all, as usual, well and good, and keep carrying on. Thanks a lot. See you next time. Bye now.